Matt is United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and Hungary rehearsed today for the very first time. He didn't rehearse for the very first time. Well, this year he did. Joci Pápai. He previously represented Hungary a couple of years ago, and he's back. And did he disappoint? Did he not disappoint? Let's talk a little bit about the staging, our overall impression, and what they need to improve upon.
Well, I think he's a seasoned performer. Obviously, he came and did a really good job back in Kiev with Origo. I think he finished 8th. So obviously, he's no stranger to the Eurovision stage. He knows what he's doing. He knows the process, which I think will help him this time as well. And he looked an accomplished performer in every bit the part on the stage today. I'd say, along with Slovenia, this was probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing stagings. I kept saying it looked quite Egyptian in a way, because the stage was bathed in swathes of gold and swirling golden patterns and sands, and almost looked like the pyramids in parts. And I thought it looked beautiful on stage. It really is impressive to watch on screen. And obviously, this song is an ode to his father. So there's a message there. Obviously, it's in Hungarian, so not everyone in Europe's going to understand it. So I can see why they've used photos of his dad and of other people's dads who may have passed away, may no longer be with us. And they use those in monotone, grayscale, and the only thing I would say about that, and it sounds a little bit harsh considering the subject matter, is that it just seems a little bit out of place. I think the way that it is at the minute, there's obviously a way that they could do it a bit more tastefully, but at the minute it just seems like it's a couple of big grey faces coming out of the screen, and it seems a bit jarring compared to the rest of the staging that they've got. But we saw it last year with Lithuania, the holograms as they were. Took a lot of work to get them to be way that they should have been on stage. At first they looked, well, let's be honest, they looked awful. It just didn't match up whatsoever.
They were too bright and big.
Yeah, so I think with a little bit of work and just making sure that they're a bit more subtle, I guess, and a bit less sinister in their sort of approach, then I'm sure that's what he could improve on. But I mean, the rest of it, his vocals were spot on. His stage presence is great as usual, and just the whole general feel of the performance. It was a beautiful show.
I agree with basically most what you said. The staging is beautiful. The color, the golden yellow thing, it creates a unique atmosphere. Like, remember with that, was it rain or water going up, with those rotatable LED screens? It looked breathtaking. And then a big sign that came up. It's just amazing. It looks surreal. Like, visually it was stunning with everything else. And you pointed out the faces of the fathers that are in gray, basically the black, white, gray. And my biggest concern is because we know as Eurovision fans, he thinks about the father. I'm like, makes sense. Hilda, the housewife from Lithuania, she may not know. Do you know what I mean? And she may look at this like, what are these? I said earlier, they all look like politicians to me. Like the politicians' faces floating around.
It looks like a propaganda song or something. Yeah.
Maybe it'll click. And I do like how it's like holograms, because they kind of go over the screen. So it's not like an LED. It's like it's done well. So because at first you see his father, but his eyes were like black, right? You couldn't see anything because like just a shadow. So it looked almost kind of scary.
So it does look sinister,
It looked sinister, a little scary, but I don't think it was the intent. And maybe we're overthinking it as well. But I think he sounded good, and I think overall, I want to say probably one of the strongest rehearsals of the night, actually. We're not even talking about the song itself. We're just talking about the whole package right now. And as far as like improving upon it, his voice is fine. Everything else with the staging, I think it's almost flawless. Sean got it right. I think maybe brighten up the faces a little bit, make them less in your. And when I say brighten, not lighten up, like, so you don't have just the black eye sockets.
Just a bit more transparency with them. Just sort of blend them into the background, maybe a bit more, so you
just
can
blend
still
in rather than just stand out too much.
Yeah.
But other than that, is there anything else that we would say, okay, this got to change?
No, I think other than that, if they get that right and they get the feel of the performance right, they've done a really good job with this.
I think we said if semifinals were tomorrow, I think Hungary would be good to go
Yeah.
for the most part, right?
Them and Slovenia, I think, would be ready. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are our thoughts. Did you watch the clip on YouTube, on the Eurovision channel? Let us know. Leave your thoughts below in the comment section. We got to move on. More reviews to do.